Welcome and thanks for joining us as we reflect on a milestone achievement of the Division of Student Services and Development's 10th anniversary at the St. Augustine campus, UWI. In this landscape of higher education, student services and development is paramount. We need those services to help our students develop holistically, and we have to ensure that the experience at university is a positive one. And even if it's a negative one, we help empower them to deal with the various challenges. Let's talk.
So, Aduke, my journey with student services really started in 2004 when I was an undergraduate student. And back then, I had just turned 18 and my parents were like, you need to find a job. And I was just brave enough one day to walk into Dr. Charles' office and say, Dr. Charles, by chance you have any internships? And she looked at me and she said, hold on, let me find out. And that was my introduction into student services. And I would say it has been a passionate experience for me. Falling in love with just serving students, I think that was the charm back then. Just doing things to help students achieve the best in their university experience has been the most memorable part of it for me.
Yeah, and it's funny you should say like achieve the best, because my journey started similarly. You know, I came in from the Mona campus and I was like familiar with student services. At the time, I believe it was Dr. Thalora Reynolds and stuff. So I had expectations coming in here. But when I came in, I wasn't necessarily looking for support for myself. At the time, I was a part of the student government. I was the postgraduate president. So I came in looking to see what support was available to postgraduate students. So, and I had the opportunity of meeting with Dr. Charles and Mr. Supervisor, who were, you know, Dr. Charles was the head of the, still is the head of the function currently. And you know, just to learn about the resources available to the students, and of course share that with my community of students that I was lobbying for and advocating for. And then after that, I needed a job as well. So one day I was walking and I booked Dr. Charles up on the corridor and I said, Dr. Charles, do you have any opportunities for me? And of course, you know, from there it was, she looked into it, I got a job and history, you know, and I must say that as a student coming into a function like this and coming in from a student leadership role, you already have somewhat of an insight of what's happening. But I think when you get into the role itself, it gives you an opportunity to learn the role in a more intimate way. Wouldn't you say, you know, you get to learn what all the different functions are, who all the staff members are, but then you also get to learn the wider ecosystem.
Yes,
of the
certainly.
university.
I certainly agree. I think an interesting part of the journey was also just the attention to detail for every single program. And as a student assistant back then, I think it was interesting that we had so many students working on different aspects of the project. And then when you stood and you saw it all come together, for me, it was phenomenal. And I think I understood then all of this would go into one program for students. And I think for me, that was the lightning moment. I think that was the aha moment. And then I started to discover it seriously in terms of career. How can I really work in a higher ed institution and support students in these ways, even beyond graduation?
But that must have also been very enlightening for you in terms of your journey when you later on take on the role of developing programs in the same function for students. Would you say then that the insight from working as a student assistant, coming in and seeing the details that the staff pay in terms of the different programs, how they're tailored for the students. Would you say that that also assisted you in terms of helping to develop some of these programs later on and customizing the programs for the different students, regional and international students, for instance, having tailored programming for them? Even something as simple as picking the students up who are arriving at the airport, etc. You know, and I think that those things are really important. And from the student perspective, you don't see it and understand the importance or the value of it.
Yes.
It's only when you get into the function, into the role as a student assistant, but also as staff.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. And I think Aduke, one of the joys of working in student services is just, apart from being passionate, is just seeing it through to the end and the success stories of, receiving student support, as a student and now giving as a staff. I think for me it's exciting. I think for me it's very purposeful. And I think a lot of our students may not understand every single aspect. But when we sit to create and design programs with our students in mind, we do it from a place of empathy. We understand.
Yes.
Once I didn't have enough money to get to university, and now I have. If a student comes to me in leadership and says to me, oh, well, I don't have any lunch, I operate from a place of empathy. And I think being on staff in a management role, I think it really helps you to understand student services from a very interesting perspective.
I think that also that idea of empathy is something that you carry on throughout the journey. You lived through it. I lived through it as students. So it also helps you in terms of your role as staff to develop and to carry forward what the empathy, what you need for the students, how to tailor for the students, understanding a little bit more what they're going through, understanding a little bit more, having a keener sense of problem solving, resolving some of the issues, putting systems in place to assist them and ensure that some of what they go through can be alleviated by the support that's offered through student services, etc. So I feel like coming in as a student and transitioning to staff, one of the things that happens is that you have insight, but then you also develop foresight in that process. So I think it has been a unique journey for me in particular. I would say, Amanda, it has been a very rewarding journey because, it's a part of it's a function that has helped me to even understand who I am, understand my capabilities, and understand the impact, the kind of impact that I would want to have on this world.
Certainly. And I think for me, at the 10th year mark is just special to understand how this division has evolved from Student Advisory Services to now the DSSD, as our students know, and the whole cadre of programs available to them. It's really tailored, it's really very student-centric, and it's very powerful for students to understand the value of it to their university experience.
Yeah, I think it has been amazing watching the transition from Student Advisor Services to the Division of Student Services and Development, and watch the various functions burgeon and grow. We now have a student engagement unit who have worked assiduously towards the student leadership function and making it a more systematic, strategic function in such a way that those things didn't exist when I was a student leader. You have students going to conferences, to develop their leadership skills, hone and develop their leadership skills, and I think that is a remarkable accomplishment. Kudos to you, but kudos to the Division of Student Services and Development on 10 years,
10 years.
Ten years of guiding and steering a division strategically. 10 years of managing student careers and getting involved in community engagement and volunteerism. 10 years of scholarships and bursaries and engaging our students in financial planning. 10 years of orientation, FYE, first year experience. 10 years of student engagement, student involvement. 10 years of student leadership and guidance. Guidance for students with medical conditions and disabilities and peer tutoring. 10 years of counseling and psychological services. 10 years housing, residential life, students' activity. 10 years. 10 wonderful years of building a foundation, which we now dub the Division of Student Services and Development. So guess what? 10 more years of wall building. Congrats, DSSD. Well done.